Hello and welcome back to Clownfish TV. It is me, Geeky Sparkles, and it is just me today because Neon is doing some other work on other videos. So today we're going to talk about this new thing that happened. If you remember the Stardust Racers Epic Universe at Universal Orlando, there was the lawsuit because that poor man, Kevin Rodriguez Zavala, died on it because he had spinal injuries and he got hit his head so many times that he died ultimately from riding that attraction. Well, recently, just a few days ago, there was a settlement reached that Universal Orlando reached a confidential settlement with his family. This literally just happened like 5 days ago. And they said it was an amicable resolution. It was finalized, but the terms are sealed. They're going to remain confidential. That just happened. So because that happened, now another lawyer shows up and files 5 new lawsuits over Stardust Racers. Just days after the other one was settled, all these other lawsuits disappear. So we're going to talk about that. Before we get into it any further, please like and subscribe. If you do, we'll get a woohoo. Woohoo. I am also supposed to remind you that if you want to see more of us and coming into the new year even more, because YouTube, as we all know, is being YouTube, you want to go to more.clownfishtv.com. I know that we're going to be doing podcasts over there soon. We're going to be exclusive things soon. I might be doing rant videos over there soon. We'll see how it goes. So you might want to check out it's more.clownfishtv.com. And if I don't do that, he'll probably be mad at me. So there you go. So what's going on was today, well, actually it was yesterday. I saw this. This was hitting the news yesterday, that 5 new lawsuits were filed from this other attorney. I'm trying to see what the attorney, Nicholas Spetsas. I don't know how you say your name. I'm terrible with names. So Nikki S. It's Nikki S. over here. Attorney Nikki S. is filing 5 new lawsuits for injuries sustained. According to WESH, W-E-S-H, the lawsuits are being filed against Universal and Mack Rides, which I think is the company that made the Stardust Racers, by individuals who claim they suffered injuries while riding Stardust Racers, with each plaintiff claiming that while riding Stardust Racers, their heads shook violently and repeatedly due to improper restraint of the head, neck, and spine, resulting in severe or permanent injuries. The alleged injuries include severe neck pain, paralysis, disability, mental anguish, and loss of capacity for the enjoyment of life. And each claim says the victim's head shook violently. Okay. So the issue with Stardust Racers is it has a lap bar. It does not have a chest restraint with the head in between the bars. So, it has a padding there. Your head bounces off of that. It just has a lap bar. And some people are saying it's a wild ride for what it is. Meanwhile, I want to point out that over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, we have the Rock and Roller Coaster, which I cannot ride anymore because even with the chest restraints and your head banging off the sides of the head restraint, it hurts my head so bad. And my earrings, I have to take off if I'm wearing them because it'll poke into your head. And we're not seeing all these lawsuits there over, Space Mountain, the old Space Mountain. That thing whips you around it's like insane. That thing just yanks you around as you're riding it. You're just like jarring all over the place. There's no restraint other than a lap bar on that. And there's no lawsuits there. But there's all these people coming forward now with these Stardust Racer lawsuits. Now, I'm not saying people aren't getting hurt. It's totally possible they are. I just find the timing is as weird. And I think most people are going to think that as well. I'm not going to say I know because I don't know. It's my opinion, that the timing is awfully strange because you don't hear about these injuries. And then all of a sudden, these people that they're supposedly so bad that they're paralyzed. There's they're talking about different things. They said paralysis, disability, mental anguish, loss of capacity. Okay, the loss of capacity for the enjoyment of life is very vague. But paralysis, if somebody got paralyzed on Stardust Racers, why haven't we heard about it? There's some things here that I'm kind of like, do I think people might have got hurt on it? Yeah. Do I think it's to the level that they're saying it is? I question it. I really, truly do. I think it's going to come down to, you're going to have to prove that these injuries were sustained on that attraction. Because what's going to happen now is that the floodgates are open. And the lawyer said, oh, there's going to be more. The attorney says he expects more lawsuits. And I'm like, I'm sure he does. They also said that they're doing this because the clients hope their actions will spark change. Well, somebody died and they changed the signage. I'm not sure what more change you're going to spark other than change in your pocket, which is what I think, in my opinion, this is about. I'm sorry. I think a lot of people are going to share that opinion. It's very suspect that this settlement happens and then all these lawsuits are pouring out. And my next thing is going to be, who's to say these people aren't going to go run into Epic Universe now to go ride it now, and then go right to the hospital. Oh, I got hurt. It was because this ride. Oh, who's that lawyer again? I just think this is, to me, it seems like ambulance chasing. Ambulance chasing. I could be wrong. I'm not saying that is what it is. I'm saying, in my opinion, it seems like ambulance chasing. And this guy just suddenly appears with all these new lawsuits with all these different conditions supposedly happening on this attraction. Now, the other guy, the poor guy that passed away, he was pulled off the ride, taken to the hospital where he died from trauma. There was no question that the trauma occurred on the ride. There was no question his injuries were sustained on the ride. But even then, the sheriff's office and the people that inspected the ride said the ride functioned as it was supposed to. The issue could arise from, somebody maybe shouldn't be riding the ride that's riding the ride. I guess this person rode roller coasters all the time and had no trouble. And people are saying it's pretty, wicked. Now, my son and his friend rode it, and they said it wasn't that bad. I guess it depends on, your condition physically, probably, when you're on this attraction. But I do know that just having the chest restraints doesn't necessarily help because, again, the rock and roller coaster, that thing whips your head and slams it all over the dang place. I mean, you can comment if you've had the same experience. I ride it. And it's like, oh my, I can't ride it because it makes my head hurt because it keeps banging my head. I used to ride coaster at Kennywood. And it was a big one. And now I forget what they call it. They've had so many different names for it. It was the Steel Phantom. And now it was the Iron Curtain or Steel Curtain. I forget what it's called now. Phantom's Revenge or something. I'm not sure what they call it now. But I used to bang my head really bad on the headrest on that too. And it would cause headaches. There's basically no way to win this. It's a lap bar and they got injured. And they're claiming these things. But I think even if they had the shoulder harness on, I think they'd still complain about injuries because it's going to whip your head around. That's what these things do. But it is what it is. But now we have all these lawsuits being filed. It's kind of downright nuts. And it's all the same lawyer, one attorney. So, and this is the first of many. I'm sure it is the first of many. And instead of being a class action, it's all individual lawsuits. Because it's going to be such a pain in the ass. They're hoping that Universal settles it. They all get settlements. But change, if you want to change, they've already made change. Someone having a wrongful death suit and a settlement on that and the changes to the signs, that sparked change. I'm not sure what change you want to spark other than money. But that's my opinion. So what do you think? Do you think this has merit? You think it's what I'm saying? It's questionable? Please comment, let us know, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.